problem with being Jewish and cheap is that you're kind of paying tribute or homage to the stereotype that Jews are cheap. Just because I'm Jewish doesn't mean I'm cheap. The problem is the stereotypes surrounding the cheapness of Jews have become so far flown that, you know, one of the only times I ever take off my yarmulke or head covering is when I bend down to pick up a penny. Because I don't want anyone looking. I remember in college it was the worst. Because people always like, I feel like college kids just drop pennies all over the place. There's always pennies lying around. The airport the other day, I picked up a couple pennies while I had my yarmulke and tzitzis on, and I felt like people looked at me with disgust. Ah, there's the Jew picking up the penny, you know, doing the whole, you know, thing or whatever. I don't know where this cheap stereotype came. It might be, you know, people back in the day looked at all the Jews that were so poor, they were so cheap, they didn't want to buy any luxuries, but they were just poor. So I don't know where this stereotype came from, but I try not to pander to the stereotyping crowds. So you, too, should take off your yarmulke when you pick up money. Or, oh, another take off your yarmulke time is when, if you're at the museums that have suggested donation, amazing, man, amazing. All the tourists think you got to pay your 18 bucks at the Met. You don't got to pay nothing. Nothing. They have endowments. We don't have to pay them anything. I give them $1 or $2, but whenever it's a suggested donation, I always walk by and I'm like, oh yes. But no, doesn't it say suggested donation? If I had a yarmulke on, I would never do it. I'd pay full price in a second. But there's so much you could do to bypass that stereotype.